Peace, family. I have a few minutes to spare while I'm waiting on my wife to finish getting ready. And so I figured I'd take a moment to address some of the concerns that have been and questions that have been coming into my inbox. And one of the larger issues or the most notable ones that have been coming through are about needs for being fulfilled. And so I'd like to start off by asking you to do me a favor. And if you can close your eyes for a minute and just imagine with me taking a vacation. But we're not taking just any vacation. This is going to be a winter vacation. And we're going to take this vacation someplace real cold, like northern Minnesota. But we're not staying in a hotel like we normally would, where it's nice and warm and cozy. We're going to take this vacation to a log cabin. And in this log cabin, there's a fireplace. And in order to make it warm and cozy, you need this fireplace to crank up. And so imagine yourself standing in front of that fireplace and saying out loud to it, "Okay, fireplace, I'll make you a deal. If you give me heat, I'll give you wood." Now, if you can imagine the cold, cold look on that fireplace's face, because the fireplace knows that it doesn't work that way. Nothing happens in a vacuum. Everything is cause and effect. You don't get heat without first supplying wood. Well, I noticed that many couples have a heat before wood mentality when it comes to relationships. And people often want a great relationship before putting in the work. But you can be sure that anytime you see a couple that has a great relationship, just know to yourself that the work has been put in and is being put in on a continual basis. Let me go a little bit deeper. When I was in the United States Navy, there was a sailor that worked for me, and she and her husband would often come by and get relationship guidance from me. And a couple times the sessions got heated. And this one particular time, we had to take a pause in the session because the tension was pretty high, emotions were running pretty high. And so I grabbed the young man. I said, "Hey, let's take a walk and just let things cool down a bit." And while we were out, he was expressing to me some of his frustrations and some of his concerns, and he was desperate and exhausted and maybe even a little depressed. And he expressed to me with tears in his eyes, he said, "Man, I'm doing everything that I can think of. I'm giving her all I got. I don't know what else to do." And what I find is oftentimes men and women don't understand each other's needs. And so we find ourselves exhausted because we're doing all we can and we're giving all we can. But we're doing all this while overlooking each other's most basic needs. And it's much simpler to meet each other's most basic needs than it is to give all we can and to do all we can. Does that make sense? Let me say it this way. Back in the day, I bought a 1990 Cadillac Sedan DeVille. This thing was clean, right off the factory, just beautiful. And it was navy blue on the top and gray on the bottom. And I went out and I bought some rims, some racing wheels, some Cragar racing wheels. And I put some nice fat Kumho tires on it. And if you know anything about Cragar racing wheels, they have this little center cap. And the center cap had navy blue paint trimmed on it. But I didn't stop there. I had to coordinate. So inside the wheel well, where the brake calipers are and the brake drum is, I painted those navy blue too. And I got custom floor mats. I had a custom steering wheel wrap. I put a real nice sound system in there. Car was laid. And everywhere I went, somebody was trying to buy this car from me. But I added all of these things to my car because I liked it, right? But that's not what the car needed. What the car needed was gas and oil. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, I liked all those things and they made my car look good, but that's not what the car needs. And so I find myself stopping at gas stations and going and doing routine oil changes, not just because I think it's a good idea or that it feels good to do those things. I do it because that's what the car needs. It's a requirement in order for me to get from my car what I need from my car. Well, it's very similar in relationships. Men, I want you to listen to me for a second. Women need love and affection in the same way that your car needs gas and oil. Let me say that again. Women need love and affection. It's not just that it's nice to have or just because it makes them feel good or it sounds like a good idea. No, they need love and affection. And in order for you to get from your woman what you need from your woman on the most optimal level, you're going to have to give love and affection. Now, depending on the type of woman you have, the different desired expressions that she has may vary. And there's a love language test that you can go online. You can Google it, and you can check that out to get your personality types and see how that meshes up. If I can remember, I'll drop a link in the description box. But just to give you an example, some women, they don't care anything about flowers. My wife loves flowers. And so I buy flowers. I don't buy flowers because I like the way they smell or because I think they're pretty. None of that. I buy flowers because my wife loves flowers. It's that simple. And so periodically I'll go and I'll do that because I know that that's what she likes and the return on my investment is good. Ladies, I need you to listen to me for a second. In the same way that you need love and affection, men need respect. I'll say it again. Men need respect. It's not that it's just a good idea or that it feels good to you because you respect him. No. Men need respect in the same way that you need love and affection. Now, again, depending on the man, the expressions of respect may vary. And again, if you go online and you take that love language test and you take that with your man, you figure out what your compatibility is, you can find exactly what type of needs he has and what needs or what expressions resonate better with him. So if you tell your man that you love him, it's all good. I mean, we love hearing stuff like that. That's cool. But showing him that you genuinely respect him is the greatest expression of love that you can ever give him. And just like men, if you tell your woman that you love her or that you respect her, I mean, that's, and even showing her that you respect her, that's all good. It's great. It certainly does not hurt. But what she needs is love and affection. And listen, there's some beautiful couples out here. I know several of them in my circle, and they are winning. These couples are really winning in their relationships. But they're not winning because they're doing extraordinary things. They're winning because they do ordinary things better than everybody else. Let me say that again. They're not winning because they're doing extraordinary things. They're winning because they do ordinary things better than everybody else. And really, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, all you can do is all you can do. And that's enough. Just make sure you do all you can do. That's the word. Peace.